Hey, this is Brett the Hitman Hart, and you're listening to the Smacked Raw podcast.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go indeed. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Smack Raw podcast, where we're your one-stop shop for all things wrestling like WWE and AEW. And it's been a long time coming, but this is your boy, Jay Thunder, starting here, hosting with my boy Seb. Hey, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good, dude. I'm doing good. Fine Saturday. Well, not a fine Saturday morning. It's kind of rainy outside. But other than that, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, you know what? I'm actually quite surprised. It's been like, it literally snowed last night here in Chicago. So, literally, I'm happy that we got just a little tad bit sunshine. So, I'm enjoying it, guys. So we're here to talk about it's a nice little throwback episode. We're here to talk about Royal Rumble 2000, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Like, I've had so many memories with this Royal Rumble. It's funny because it's actually the one. It's the one that's most controversial, I should say, because this is the one where both feet apparently both feet went over the
Yeah, touch the floor.
the top rope. Yeah, both feet touched the floor. So that was actually pretty fun. But we're not gonna go back. We're gonna take it to the front. We're gonna take it to the start, where we actually started off with a nice little promo package for the I wouldn't say the main event. It was like the semi-main event.
Real quick, you want a fun little stat here? This was the this was the first $1 million gate for a wrestling show in WWE history.
Really?
Yeah, it was their sixth highest gate in history up to this point. They made like I said, made over $1 million for the first time in the Garden. So.
Oh, that's definitely decent, especially considering the fact it was at the Garden.
Yeah.
So that's actually pretty dope. So I would have to say, like, if you had to choose, like, a part of this venue that you quite enjoyed, what would you think it would be your best?
Like for a show?
No, and for this show, because I mean, like, this is a throwback, so
Yeah, probably Madison. Probably the Garden, man. I love when I go to the Garden.
Okay, well, you know what? We'll definitely just go into it. So we start off with the promo package that I was talking about. It was a nice promo package between the I guess like I said, you can consider it the main event because the main event was the Royal Rumble, but it was a nice promo package to start off with between the match between Cactus Jack and Triple H. It was a nice street fight. Now, I enjoyed every moment of this video and this promo package because it kind of made it seem like it was the end of their feud, but we all know what happened after, so it was enjoyable. I actually thought that they both looked strong, and it was a great promo package.
Yeah, it was. Back in the day, they used to knock every one of those video packages out. I can't remember many bad ones back in this era.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. It was literally weird. Like, it wasn't that much of a good pro. They didn't really have much going on for promo packages, but they actually did really good. Going into this venue. We actually had to start where our wonderful American hero, Kurt Angle, he comes out because I guess he doesn't know who his opponent is, and he's trying to, I guess, rile up the crowd, talking about how he's gonna be, New York's champion, and that's fun. That's all fun, fine and dandy. But then we get to who he goes against, and it's New York's own Taz, who, if I'm not mistaken, he made his debut that night as well.
I don't think it was his actual debut. I'm trying to think of, because this was right after ECW went over, correct, or went under. Because I remember when he was their champ, ECW champ, he did have a one-on-one match with Triple H on Raw at one point. It was when ECW and, it's on record, WWE trying to help Paul Heyman out with times with ECW, and Taz got on a Raw and got beat by Triple H. I think that was before this show, I'm pretty sure, because I want to say this was after ECW pretty much went to bed, because at WrestleMania 7, oh no, that's a year after. I might be wrong.
Well, see, the only thing about it is I've been trying to find out this whole, see whether or not that this was Taz's first match, because it seemed like it, because the way that they kind of introduced him, it seemed like he had literally just came, because the crowd popped. Everyone was like surprised. They made it seem like it was surprising. So I feel like it was like his first, like his debut.
I'm trying to look it up right now. This probably was his debut. The Triple H thing happened April 20th of 2000. So, yeah, I would say this was his debut. You're right.
Yeah. So we definitely get into this match. It was a very good match. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of technical wrestling and a lot of suplexes. So I enjoyed this a lot, especially for me being a fan of the Attitude Era. I definitely think that it wasn't what's the word I'm looking for? It wasn't long. It wasn't a long match.
No, it wasn't. It was about, I want to say 4 or 5 minutes.
It was some, I was about to say it's about 4 or 5 minutes. So, but we came to the conclusion that since this was apparently Kurt Angle's undefeated streak, that he gets choked out by Taz. He gets put in the Taz mission. He pretty much gets choked out and put to sleep.
Yeah. Now,
apparently, this didn't count as him being undefeated because he was choked out, and apparently this was quote unquote illegal. At the time.
Yeah, they was arguing about it on commentary.
Yeah, and I'm thinking to myself, isn't submissions legal? So it's just, but they said it was like they were kind of like going back and forth between, it's a chokehold. Chokeholds are illegal. I'm thinking to myself, well, when you put someone in a sleeper hold, that looks illegal, but hey.
That's true.
It is what it is. It is what it is. What did you think about it? Like, in general, this whole match? What did you think about it, Seb?
It was fine, man. It was fine little 5-minute match. I was kind of surprised, looking at the dates now, about Taz's first TV taping was 4 months after this. I'm kind of surprised that Kurt Angle didn't win. You would have thought that they would have put their guy over.
Well, I'm guessing the reason why is because of the fact they wanted to make him look strong. Not only that, they were in New York, so I didn't think they were gonna just disregard the fact that he would have had so much of a pop.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, he did get a great pop, and
He got a really good pop.
I know. I want somebody. I listened to a podcast covering this show not long ago, and apparently it was rumored that it was so rumored that Taz was going to be at the show. WWE actually put a post on their website saying the mystery opponent is not Taz. So, maybe they just really expected it, or maybe it was just because you could kind of hear some Taz chants going as Kurt Angle was doing his promo. So,
see, only thing about it is that like at that time, I guess here's my thing: as at that time, when you're a kid and you don't know the business like I do now, you don't notice certain things. But as I watched the match like a couple weeks ago, I was sitting there and I was like, oh, well, damn. I could have called that in an instant.
yeah.
but it's good to see that like WWE didn't like bury him. That was actually pretty cool. But overall, it was a good match. Like I enjoyed it. Seb enjoyed it. We enjoyed it. So I definitely give it. I definitely give it like maybe a B plus, especially considering the fact that it didn't last forever.
Yeah,
especially for the opening part.
Yeah,
it was the opening, so
yeah,
I get why.
And it got the crowd hot for sure.
It did. Like I said, I was surprised of how the crowd popped. I was like, oh, it was a pretty good pop. But then, like I said, I realized this was his debut, so of course they were gonna pop.
Yeah.
But then we get into our next match, which I think this is probably a very iconic match in general. It goes into the Hardys and the Dudleys in a table match.
Yeah, it's a fun match, man. It really was.
Like I feel like this match is literally a very iconic match because you see, and not besides this one, besides the if I'm not mistaken, I think it was the I don't know if it was if it was called a TLC match at WrestleMania 2000.
No, I don't think it was. It was just called a ladder match.
I don't think it was called a TLC match.
The first actual TLC match was at this year or that 2000 SummerSlam. I want to say
SummerSlam, yes. So it was like it was just another ladder match that literally everyone just added their own spin to it.
Yeah.
So I've noticed that this is kind of like an iconic match because they usually use some of the footage for this in like promo packages for like a couple things. So especially for like Jeff or like when he's doing anything death defying, because I mean they did a couple things. I'm laughing so hard because
that ladder was the worst looking ladder I've ever seen in my life.
I know that ladder was just like ridiculously. I don't know what was going on with the ladder. It was so out of place.
Like it just looked awful. Like it could break at any second. Like I was afraid for him to step on it.
Like I was like, oh my god. If they like I was waiting for a botch. I swear to God I was waiting for a botch, but like I said, it everything went good. It was a nice match. I got to see a moment where if I'm not mistaken, I think that was Bubba Ray get put through a table by Matt Hardy. Like literally, Matt Hardy gets on the top rope, and if I'm not mistaken, Matt gets on the top rope. Jeff goes somewhere else, and like Jeff just like they just come out of nowhere. It was ridiculous.
Matt was on the ladder, wasn't he?
I think he was on the ladder, and Jeff came out of nowhere.
Yeah, he came from the top rope. I'm pretty sure
he came from the top rope, and I had a moment because I was watching, and the way the camera angle was, you couldn't see Jeff.
No.
So when it happened, you're sitting there, you're like, where did he come from?
Yeah.
Like, I had to rewind that moment like once or twice because I was trying to figure out, where did Jeff? I didn't even see Jeff. And then clearly in the corner, I see Jeff come out of nowhere. I was like, wow, this match was pretty good. Like the reversals, the spots, everything was like really good.
Yeah.
Get to a point where the stipulation of the match was to put both tag team opponents in the table.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't your average table match. Literally, you got to put that one person in the table. Then you got to put another one in the table, and then you're thinking to yourself like, oh my god, like so I got to deal with one person, now I got to deal with another one.
Mm-hmm.
My god, it was usually just, hey, I can just put someone through a table, and that's fine. We win.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked how they did. They built everything up because, I think it was Bubba Ray that went through the table first,
Mm-hmm.
and then Matt went through the table second.
Yeah, from a power bomb from
Bubba Ray. Yeah.
They did have a cool sequence too. They stacked the table on the barricade on the outside,
Mm-hmm.
and had a table leaning on the barricade at the same time. And Matt jumped off the top rope, tried to put Devon through it. Devon moves, Matt goes through it. It wasn't 2 seconds. Jeff tries to hit a suicide dive.
He tries to hit a cannonball, but he misses.
Yeah, and he goes for a table, and that was in a span of like 15 seconds. So they did a lot in their time they got. They really did. It was entertaining.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then like there was a spot where they're like around the entrance area, and Jeff sees Bubba Ray, like I guess he's on the table, but it's like slanted. So literally, he tries to tightrope the barricade, and Bubba Ray just literally just smashes the table in front of Jeff. It was crazy. It was a lot of like, you know, it was a lot of nice spots, and I enjoyed a lot of it. It was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, we get to the end of the match, and you know, the like I said, this match is full of iconic moments. So at the end of the match, we finally get to Devon, who is the only person that hasn't been put through a table, except along with Jeff. But they finally get Bubba Ray out the way because he fell through 2 tables out in the audience. So he fell through 2 tables, and then Jeff is literally in the fans in the second row, and literally just swan times Devon and on the table. It was just like, I don't know what it is about Jeff doing that. It's amazing. Like, I can't every time that he does a swanton, I pop because
Absolutely.
I've seen a couple of them like, and I'm thinking to myself, what are you doing? Especially coming back here like I'm gonna say like what 10, 15 years later, he does it on top of the stage onto Randy Orton. It just
Yeah, Jeff.
it's
As far as
just
you
wow.
think, as far as iconic spots go, it kind of stick out in your head. Jeff is near the top, man. He has so many of them.
Say that one more time, because you were
Uh,
literally
I said with iconic spots. I mean, if you think about who has most of them and all that pop up in your head, Jeff is up there toward the top.
yeah. Like I've literally I can remember spots in my head from Jeff. Not include. I mean, of course, I don't have to just say the one from. Uh, if I'm not mistaken, was it SummerSlam or was it WrestleMania where he got speared?
WrestleMania.
Yeah. See, the one where he got speared off of the from hanging from the titles. That's one thing. But like I remember more than that. Like I remember the leg drop off off the top of the ladder on SmackDown. He literally jumped over one ladder. It was crazy. He jumped over. He literally had one ladder set up, and he jumped over he had a bigger ladder that was set up higher. And he jumped over that ladder. Uh, it was wild. It was crazy. Like those spots I enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, well, for
No,
every there's guys that you can think of iconic thing like spots, and think of one. Jeff has 4 or 5. I mean,
yeah,
so Jeff's a daredevil. He always has been, and not
he
just
is.
in WWE. I mean, even in Impact when he was or TNA at the time. I mean, he was still doing crazy stuff there. So
Yeah, but you know, I could talk about this match like all day, but the Hardys get the win. Um, Kudos to them because of all those spots. Kudos to the Dudleys. They are both this team are both legends in their own right, especially with the Hardys or the Dudleys or with Edge and Christian. They're all legends. So great match. I think so.
I agree.
Our you know then like after like everything is going on, we got they bring us back to the back where Kurt Angle is literally waking up now, um, not realizing that he got choked out by Taz, and he's trying to explain to everybody, oh hey, well, I got choked out. That's illegal. You know, so it doesn't count. I'm still undefeated. Um, so I just find it funny that you know this is around the time where Kurt Angle had literally just started. He's he's very comedic, and it's really awesome. No one ever talks about the fact that like Kurt, was very comedic. Yeah, he was very good in the ring, but he was also very comedic.
And
So
I always love going back and listening to Kurt's promos. As a heel, I mean, the dude could get so much heat very easily. Yeah, even as a face too, man. Kurt on the mic, I always go back and watch some stuff, especially from the Ruthless Aggression era. And
yeah.
even then, like when he had a mic, it was really entertaining. I know in the Attitude era, he was a heat magnet, though. I mean, he was.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That man, like I said, the beginning of the show, he talked about he literally talked. They were in Madison Square Garden, where the Knicks play, and they were talking about they'll wait forever for Patrick Ewing to, you know, become a champion. I was like, ooh. Like I had to remember where we were back in 2000. So New York was doing okay, but they were not doing okay. But, you know, I just wanted to point that out there that, you know, Kurt is actually one hell of a heat magnet. I just let you know that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely for our next match though, which I'm not so much excited for, because it was a swimsuit contest.
Oh,
I mean,
God.
literally, it was a swimsuit contest. The only thing that I enjoyed was the fact that I got to see Ivory, because no one ever talks about Ivory. Like, that was pretty cool. But it was you guys know how, you know, the swimsuits. Yeah, like, I don't even want to talk about this.
Yeah, we don't have to.
Especially considering the fact that we also had to deal with Mae Young. So, yeah. We're gonna bypass.
This is a thing that happened. If you're really curious, go watch it. But yeah, we don't need to. This is one of the. You know, we talk about it sometimes. A lot of stuff does not age well from the Attitude Era, and this is one of those things.
I mean, yeah, like let's get this straight. I'm a guy, and you know what? Hey, I enjoy some, you know, some stuff here and there, but yeah,
Yeah, Mae Young is not one of those things.
Mae Young is not one of those things. So we're going to move it forward. However, I will say that the fun part was watching Mark Henry come in and try to like, you know, stop Mae Young. It was hilarious.
Yeah, that was cool.
But moving forward, which I will say this, I totally forgot about this match. Well, actually, no, I forgot about this storyline in general. So, for you guys that, you know, didn't know, and, you know, didn't know like I did, I forgot about a nice little storyline between Y2J and China. I forgot about this storyline. Like, I really did. I forgot that, you know, they were co-intercontinental champion. Like, that was not ever heard of at all.
No, I watched it. I was trying to think of, you know, if I could remember any other instance of a co-champ, and I could. Nothing popped up in my head. And like I said, I was born in '94, so like the '80s and early '90s, even really mid '90s. I'm not, you know, I don't know everything about that time period, but as far as I can remember, I don't remember co-champs. So.
It was just weird. Like, I totally forgot. But here's the thing. This was like one of those things that made Jericho in China, like, because China was already, like, you know, pretty big at this point, and she was on her own at this point. So,
yeah,
you know, I thought this was really good. And then, you know, the fun thing about it is that when you watch these throwback episodes, guys, you kind of like get into it, and you're kind of like, oh man, I didn't even remember that, because I didn't even remember that Hardcore Holly was in the match. So, like,
he's a designated fall guy, man. And
yeah,
I'm not saying that. The podcast I listened to, it was something, or grilling JR. Conrad and JR went back and talked about the show, and he blatantly said, yeah, Hardcore was out there to be the fall guy. We didn't want Jericho to be pinned, and we didn't want China. And Hardcore, said, put me in the spot. And they did, so.
Wild. Like, that's crazy. Like, I just... At that moment, oh, man.
I personally wasn't a big fan of this match, though. I thought they moved really slow. It was kind of clunky at times. The crowd, toward the end got into it, but they wasn't into it for a while. It was just, for me, it was awkward. In Jericho's book, you could actually go back and read a little excerpt about it. Hardcore, he forgot his spot. Like, they laid it out, and they forgot.
Oh no. Oh no, absolutely. Like I didn't know that he like forgotten his spot. That's crazy. But I definitely have to agree with you, Seb. Like the whole match itself was it was slow and methodical. But methodical's not bad. But in this case, it was very bad. Like, I love the work that China does, but in a sense, I actually thought that China like literally moved extremely slow in that match. Her bumps were horrible, and her clotheslines were like stiff as crap. They were crazy. Like I couldn't, I couldn't. It was cringe worthy, I should say. That's why I feel like this match literally couldn't have worked at all. But I mean, like they got it off as best as they could, and thank God that Hardcore Holly took the pin because Lord have mercy, literally. But we'll definitely get into the other matches because, like I said, I think that with everything going on in that match, we can literally just move forward with everything with that. Hold on, let's see. So then we get to the tag team match, which I'm actually quite happy that I get to see a New Age Outlaw tag team match, but I also get to see an Acolytes tag team match because both of those teams are actually good, and this is before the APA, so I'm literally enjoying every little bit of it. So we got the New Age Outlaws, and
I'm sorry.
I think that
I'm sorry, I've been muted. My daughter got sick, so I had to mute myself. I wasn't muted to you, Jay, but for this app, I was muted. Yeah, what I was saying before we move on, Jericho's book, they laid out the match, A, B, C, D, and he forgot a few spots, and Hardcore even was like, Bulldogger, dumbass. Like, yeah, Hardcore pretty much kept Jericho in check a couple times in that match, so, yeah, it was...
Yeah, no, I was noticing that, in that match, like, there was, like, the match was okay, but it was par. It was a little under par, because China was pretty stiff, and her bumps were stiff, her clotheslines were stiff. It was weird because she doesn't bump. She rarely bumps. But I get what you're saying. Like with the match, it wasn't all that great. I mean, Jericho and Holly made that match.
I'm back. Yeah, so to our audience, I'm sorry. I just had some family stuff going on. I had to mute myself again. Yeah, it was. China doesn't bump, and even Jr. On that podcast was like, a lot of people didn't want to work with China. As bad as that sounds, the intergender stuff wasn't for him, and I think he even had to convince Jericho to do the program. Jericho wasn't a fan of it either. So yeah, I mean, when you have talent that isn't really comfortable with what they're doing, sometimes it can show.
Yeah, and it definitely showed in this match. But they finally got Jericho over with the win. Hardcore Holly took the did he take the pin?
Yeah, he took the pin.
Yeah, he took the pin.
And also, I forgot why. I don't know if you could add to this, Jay. Why was Hardcore Holly allegedly 400 pounds in his entrances?
Say again?
In his Hardcore Holly's entrances, when they announce them, they say allegedly 400 pounds. I can't remember why it's a thing.
so you caught that too?
Yeah.
I was curious. I was like, 400 pounds? Hardcore Holly's not 400 pounds.
Yeah, I was 6 years old at this time, so I'm missing something here. But I caught that, and I was like, maybe Jay knows, but no.
I was sitting there, I was like, wait, hold up. I was like, he is not 400 pounds. Like, what the hell? What kind of shit is that?
But, yeah, before I had to get back in here, you moved on to the tag match. There wasn't really much to talk about there either. It was quick. It wasn't 2 minutes. I was kind of disappointed. But, when you got so many matches on a Royal Rumble card, it takes an hour to do anyway. A lot of matches don't get time. But this was that, and X-Pac interfered and cost Acolytes the win. I don't even think it hit 2 minutes.
I mean, either way, like, I think that it was I could honestly say between that and the swimsuit contest was probably the piss break. And especially considering the fact that they were both next to each other.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Especially because they were both next to. Because think about it like this: the swimsuit contest was like there. No one really cared about, but right after that was the whole match between Y2J, China, and Hardcore Holly. So, hey guys, you get 30 minutes worth of a piss break.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. But it picked up the match after this. It definitely picked up.
Yeah. So, we're talking about the match after it, and then that's the tag team match. I don't think it was. Yeah, there were no championships involved. The New Age Outlaws versus I call them the APA, but back then they were called the Acolytes. Overall, I thought it was a pretty okay match. It wasn't long, so. But at this point, I feel like all four of these guys are in there. Even at this point, even Ron Simmons, I feel like he this was like at his prime, where he looked at his best. Like, I'm literally looking at him. He's like, what? I think at this point he's like 40 years old. I think. 39, 40.
Yeah, something like that.
Both of them. Both, and you know, not to be, you know, I don't judge anyone looks, but Bradshaw was actually looking pretty good back then himself, before he became JBL.
Yeah.
So, like I feel like the black hair worked for him. So, but if I'm not mistaken, the New Age Outlaws, they got over on this match. I think it was a dirty win.
Yeah, it's Pac interfered.
I'm trying to think here.
Yeah, it's Pac interfered and caused it.
Yeah,
it wasn't 2 minutes.
Yep.
There ain't really much to.
Yeah, it was a dirty win. You know, New Age Outlaws win with the help of their degenerate brethren. And they pretty much get the win. And there wasn't much going on there, so, but overall it was kind of like a decent match. It was a decent filler match, you know. Like I honestly say it was better than the triple threat match. So
yeah, it's filler, man.
This is where we get to the nitty gritty in here. Like, this is pretty much the meat and potatoes of the main event spot. I mean, yeah, we could talk about the Royal Rumble all too, but this was the match that was all over the place. And we're talking about the street fight between Cactus Jack and Triple H. Now, I got to watch this match for the first time in a while, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, this was a classic, man. Mick Foley and
Like,
Triple H on backstage were talking about how proud they were of this match. Now, Triple H, it was one of his favorite matches he's ever done. So this was the match where, and don't get me wrong, he was a champ before. Obviously, he was a champ coming in, but this was when Triple H became a tough guy, in my opinion. He wasn't just a guy go out there and work. He was a guy kind of like Randy Orton's match in 2004 against Foley at Backlash. That, you know, hardcore match.
This was the match that made him what he is today. This is the match literally where, actually, you know what? Actually, no. It wasn't not only this match, but it was also that Hell in a Cell match of No Way Out. Those two matches together, literally just wow. I think about those matches like all the time. Like, I feel like in this situation, I never expected it to be, you know, this 2-part match thing. I thought it was a one and done because I felt like Mick Foley was, you know, it was time. I felt like for Mick Foley it was time. But to be quite honest with you, that man had a nice year 2000. He really did.
Yeah, for sure. This match, though, like I said, this was when Triple H got his tough guy card. You know what I mean? It made him the cerebral assassin, in my opinion.
But I mean, going with the match though, like, I think that everything was so perfect in this match. Like, it literally set up for everything going forward. literally, um, I'm really trying to get my thoughts in together because this match is like I said, this match is like really what made the Rumble. Like it's a couple of matches that made the Rumble, but this match here is what like made everything. Like it was a really good match. Like anything that was done, any spots, everything in general, it was just everything was perfect in that match. And I'm trying to figure out the words to like literally just get of how I felt about this match. I guess I could just say wow. Wow. I mean, no words can, really describe, but wow.
Yeah, I mean, they went around the whole arena. They used wooden pallets. They used trash cans. They used bricks, barbed wire. They used chairs.
A mysterious chair shot from The Rock.
Yeah, steel steps, barbed wire, 2x4. Both announce tables got crushed. I mean, you name it, they done it. Thumbtacks in the end, a pedigree in it for the finish. I mean,
now, this is the thing, and this is why this this episode, because I wanted to talk to you about this situation, particularly you, Seb, because I know that you know the outcome of this match. I mean, it's throwback. So I want you to tell me, because I feel some type of way. Do you think that it would have been okay to just let Mick just win the title?
no, I'm good with how they done it. Like I said, this was the match where Triple H earned his cerebral assassin name. Before this, he never had a match like this. That showed how tough he is. And if you would have made him lose, then you would have kind of disregarded that. I mean, halfway through it, he had a tremendous gash in his leg. I mean, it was pouring the blood. He worked through it. This match, like you said earlier, that and the Hell in a Cell made Triple H, it gained a lot of respect for him. I was good with how it did. Mick, I don't know how old he was at this time. But, I don't need a Mick Foley title run in the 2000s, especially when his career is about to end. And I mean, he would come back every once in a while, like with stuff with Randy and Edge, but for the most part, his full-time career's ending. I mean, so yeah, use this moment as a time to really put Triple H over. I didn't have a problem with how they did it.
Well, I guess I have the problem because I didn't know about the Hell in a Cell match at No Way Out. So, me thinking to myself, wouldn't it have made it like so much better to let Cactus Jack have the title at Royal Rumble, and then at at No Way Out, because we knew he was gonna lose.
Yeah, it's to me.
Him...
I like the rematch at Hell in a Cell. I mean, yeah, you could have done Mick wins the title and Triple H wants his rematch, but then you probably wouldn't have the emotional stuff with Mick's career being on the line. It wouldn't have made it wouldn't have made sense. Like it would have been
the same purpose though.
It wouldn't have made sense for Mick to be like, yeah, Triple H, you can have the rematch, and you know what? I'll defend the title and put my career on the line. Him losing made him have to put his career on the line for him to get another shot. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm fine with it. It's kind of like, I know you don't watch NWA Power, at least I don't think you do. Right now, Nick Aldis and Marty Scurll is running an angle where Marty wants a rematch after Nick beat him in a really career-making match for Marty. That's when he started getting a lot of eyeballs on him. And Nick was like, sure, you can have your match, but at the same time, if you lose, you got to pay back everybody's ticket. Everybody gets a refund, and it's coming out of your pocket. You couldn't run that angle if it was the opposite way. It wouldn't have made sense for added... Like, it just wouldn't have made sense for Mick to be like, yeah, I'll defend the title, and you know what, while I'm at it, screw it, I'll put my career on the line too. You don't got to do anything, Triple H. But in this way, Triple H defending his belt, and then Mick defending his career, it just makes more sense to me.
Definitely. Like I said, I guess we're both different and are a matter of opinions. Like I said, I feel like if they were gonna, do the whole situation where Mick was losing at No Way Out, that he could have his nice little ride in the sunset before he retired.
It's just like,
especially considering the fact that he came back literally like a month later.
Yeah, I mean, but at the time, we don't know that's going to happen. At the time, it would have been like, Foley's defending the title and his career, and Triple H is just having a match. There's no stakes both ways. So that's why I feel like this made the most sense. Both guys going into Hell in a Cell had something on the line. If you would have had Mick do it, then Triple H wouldn't have had anything on the line. It was just his rematch. So...
True enough. Agree to disagree. Agree to disagree. But overall, like, that match was great. I enjoyed every moment of it.
Yeah, I mean, we can't really do it justice in the words.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, those, like, the setup for this match and for Mick's final run was beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
Like I said, I still think he could have won the title, but
yeah, we can't really do this much justice. You just really go watch it, man. It's a 30-minute classic, and you don't get a lot of them in this era.
Yeah, but like I said, we could sit here, we could talk about this whole match because like it was really good with every spot that you said, thumbtacks, barbed wire, 2x4. I'm surprised the thing wasn't on fire. But overall, it was still a great match. Like, for a street fight, it was really good.
Yeah, it was.
And going into, the best part, the Royal Rumble. Because that's what we were talking about. Guys, if you haven't realized, this episode is taped a little bit later. We were supposed to tape this for the Rumble, but there's a lot of stuff going on, so please forgive us. Not trying to break kayfabe here, Seb, but our audience deserves it.
Yeah, we're taping this on the first day of February, so yeah, it happens.
And this is like I said, this is my first time hosting. So, you guys, bear with me, please. Bear with me a little bit. So we get into the Royal Rumble, and there are a lot of spots in there that I totally forgot. Like, I didn't know that Too Cool did the little dance segment at the Rumble. I love the fact that Rikishi eliminated both. I honestly like the fact that Rikishi went through a couple of guys before he got eliminated. It made him look big and it made him look strong, and that was beautiful.
He led the match in eliminations. He had 7.
Yeah, he did.
This was a weirdly formatted Rumble. You never really had an Iron Man like we're used to seeing. The longest time was 26 minutes. And that was Test, out of all people. You can go down, even the winner, The Rock, was only in there 14 minutes. If you go down to top 5, of who was in there longer, you got Test at 26 minutes, Gangrel at 23 minutes, Big Boss Man at 22 minutes, Road Dogg at 19, and Al Snow at 17. That's
What does everybody want?
yeah. I mean, on paper, you probably look at this Rumble and you're like, yeah, as far as major names and all that goes, but yeah, it was.
I mean, it wasn't a bad Rumble.
No, it wasn't. But on paper, when you see those five, no disrespect to them, but they're not. When you look at Rumble stats, you see guys like.
I guess more so like there were so many interferences in that Rumble with Kai and Tai, and then the Mean Street Posse. It was all over the place. It was it was a whirlwind trying to sit here and try to figure out, there's Kai and Tai. Oh man. And then I'm so mad because Jerry Lawler kept wanting to see the replay image of Taka Michinoku like literally getting flipped over. And it was just hilarious. I thought it was funny. But I thought it was bad because I was like, oh, wow. Like, why are you doing this to him, Jerry? It's funny, but don't do that to him. But overall, it wasn't a bad Rumble. I got to see Dwayne Johnson. I mean, this is 2000. So he's The Rock. Okay, he's The Rock. He's The Rock now. So he's The Rock, and this is his first Rumble win. It was weird seeing Big Show the way he is, because I think Big Show had was this Big Show with long hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is Big Show with long hair. I haven't seen him like that since for a while. So I wonder what made him decide to cut it off. That's what I really want to know. Because he actually had nice hair. I'm curious. But your winner and going on to Royal Rumble. To WrestleMania is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, or at the time, The Rock. But there was an issue because, they thought that, his foot touched the ropes. I was like, well, no, it didn't. The feet didn't touch the ropes.
The floor,
The Rock won. Oh. That's literally how it was. And the funny thing about it is, like, they didn't, challenge it or anything. They just went on. Just like, oh, well.
That's when you knew the plan was definitely The Rock winning.
Yeah, like...
They didn't put no emphasis on it. But, when they got backstage and probably saw that it did hit, and there's like, well... we probably will have to call some sort of audible. And, maybe that was the case. We talked about how Mick came back a month after losing his career. Maybe that wasn't the plan at this very moment. His feet touching.
You know what? Yeah, Seb, you know what? I was thinking just that. Like, maybe that wasn't the plan,
So, maybe they... at the internet, it wasn't as big as it is today, obviously, but it was a thing back then. I'm sure The Rock's feet touching would have got out there some way, whether they put it out there or not. So maybe they just called an audible, and we got what we got.
But I mean, it's just looking at now that we're at the end of this this decent pay-per-view. The aftermath was pretty dope too. I mean, we got to see that Hell in a Cell match from No Way Out 2000.
Got to see Mick main event WrestleMania.
Yeah, we got to see main event WrestleMania. Didn't we also get Backlash as well? Austin returns.
Yeah, I want to say.
I think we did. I think that was a thing.
I think so. I'm trying to think if he did return that.
Because I'm thinking with kind of WWE like puts their programming. So after WrestleMania would have been Backlash.
Yeah, it would have been Backlash.
Yeah.
Back in this era. Yeah, I think
Yep.
he came back and saved the Rock somehow. I want to say.
Yeah, he came because he had been gone since Survivor Series of '99. Because that one was literally, I think that was like at the end of mid or end of '99.
Mm-hmm.
Because somebody ran him over with and he did it for The Rock.
Yeah.
I think. So, come to find out, it was Triple H and Rikishi. But overall, I think that everything worked out perfectly. Especially, like I said, everything outside of like the aftermath was like really good. I enjoyed every one of those pay-per-views after. Storyline and the story was set up. Like I said, I still wish that Mick Foley would have won at the Royal Rumble. But for the feel-good moment at the end of the Hell in a Cell match was good. Because they tore the roof off of that moment. I'm just saying.
They did.
They did a very good job.
It's classic, man.
But I guess that's a way that we can just like, you know, in the show, in the episode, because like I can't think of any better way to end it with, you know, a wonderful Royal Rumble, and the aftermath was just beautiful as well. So honorable mention to Bob Backlund making a surprise appearance in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Just saying. But with that being said, Seb, did you have anything to add? You know, let me know.
No,
like,
man. Well, I will. You know, we already broke kayfabe and kind of toed on ourselves, so I'll go ahead and announce this. Our next throwback, we're hoping to do it, I think 2 weeks from today was the day we originally said, will be SummerSlam of 03. So that will be our throwback for the upcoming Elimination Chamber. So
is that okay? So is that the first? Was that the first Elimination Chamber?
no, it would be the second one. It was the first was Survivor Series 02. And we did that, and we already done that throwback for Survivor Series.
Oh yeah, the first one was
yeah, we've already covered that show for Survivor Series.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like you have to. I'm trying to remember. Like, you know, it's so many pay-per-views.
It was
like,
it was the Goldberg Elimination Chamber.
Oh, is that the one where he was supposed to win?
A lot of people thought he was going to win.
Yeah, that's the one he was supposed to. Yeah, that was the one he was supposed to win, and Triple H just buried him.
Well, I wouldn't say Barry. He killed him with a sledgehammer. I mean,
ooh, he
what?
buried him with a sledgehammer.
It wasn't like he like pinned him off a roll up. Like Goldberg left a bloody mess. So I wouldn't say buried. Goldberg won the belt not long after.
Yeah, but I mean, like when you see like Goldberg, you're supposed to. I feel like WWE was supposed to, you know, start off where WCW left.
No, you know, Goldberg never committed to anything. He committed to a year, so already it started off fishy. You didn't know if he was going to have him long or not. So and you know, it's a different format than what they would. you know, in WWE, you're expected to fill out so much TV time in your matches. You're not going to get a lot of squash matches against the likes of Shawn Michaels or Triple H or any of those guys. You know, if you go back and look at his WCW run, yeah, he did have some squash against, you know, main talent, but a lot of it starting off was jobbers. And you don't really have time.
Yeah.
You don't really have time to do it if you think you only have them for a year. So, you know, given the circumstances, that I don't think they've done too terrible. The Brock match to end his career was you know, that's a different story. But
yeah. But guys, yes, this is the Smack Raw podcast. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for staying with me with this first host. I think I did an okay job. Let us know. You can definitely check us out at every, you know, platform that you want to for podcasting. I usually go for Spotify. You know, you can always try iTunes.
yeah, Stitcher, YouTube. Of course, hit that like and subscribe for us. We'd appreciate that.
Of course. Let us know in the comments below if you guys are on. Let us know how you guys really did. Let me know if I suck. But in general, just let us know how you felt about. I want to have a conversation with you guys about this Royal Rumble, because I feel like it was a decent one. I mean, besides 08, but we're not gonna talk about 08.
I mean, that was an option. It was an option for a poll.
But yeah, but that'll be for another throwback episode, because then I get to sit here and talk to you guys about how I've like literally lost my shit when Cena came back from his injury. So, but with that being said, thank you guys for being here. I definitely appreciate you guys listening. Keep listening. Definitely follow us, and hopefully you guys can hear us more. But until then, good luck, Godspeed, and you guys have a good day.
Have a good one.